Hi, I'm Jana Hamilton, licensed massage therapist, certified exercise physiologist. I'm bringing you this tutorial today based on neck pain and care and prevention. So we're going to go over some treatments with warm-ups, trigger points, exercises, and stretches that you can do to get yourself in a better situation. We're going to start, as always, with anything, doing some warm-ups. First, we're going to begin with a little bit of arm movement. We want to warm up our back and shoulders first. So I like arm circles are great. Want to do one way forward. So always do your warm-ups for 5 minutes at minimum before you start an exercise. Even if you're going to be doing stretches, the muscles like to be warm before you actually do any of the common static stretches that most people are used to. Reverse directions. Okay, now we're going to go into a scapular squeeze. So squeezing your shoulder blades toward the spine, like you're pinching a pencil right here and holding it. Just hold it. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. As long as there's no pinching or pain, you can hold this for 30 seconds. Don't forget to breathe and relax. Next exercise, shoulder shrugs. So squeeze your shoulders to your ears as hard as you can. All that blood flow is coming to the trapezius muscles that are connected to your neck. I'm going to relieve some of the pressure and warming you up in the process. Okay, and relax. I like those, and I squeeze up and down and get them relaxed a little bit more. I love arm huggers. So open up nice and wide. I can already feel everything getting a little bit warmer. And swimmers. Okay, always work within your range of motion, reverse directions, and what's comfortable for your joint and your shoulders. Remember, if you're experiencing any pain, you might need to moderate this movement for yourself. Okay. And coming on down, and we always know you can do gentle neck rolls just to feel everything nice and slow. Not a huge range of motion, just to the side, forward, and to the other side. Another way to warm up the muscles and get them ready for stretches and trigger point therapy is to use application of moist heat. I like a microwave moist heat pack. You can use a hot moist towel. Just let that sit on there no more than 20 minutes. You want to make sure that you're not going overboard with your application. Usually about 5 to 10 minutes is sufficient. And make sure you're spreading out all over your neck and back. Then we're going to go over some myofascial release techniques. So it's self-massage, basically. You can use a tennis ball or a foam roller. I like to use a tennis ball with shoulders and arms so that it releases the neck a little bit easier. These are hard to reach on the foam roller, but you can use the foam roller. We're going to go over your self-release in between your rhomboids. So right in between the shoulder blade and the spine. We're going to do the whole scapular area. It's a big triangle here, over to the rotator cuff and the shoulder and the pectoralis muscle. And what massaging those areas does is help bring your shoulder back so there's no pressure on your neck. And this will help you with all of your stretches and exercises that you're going to do to strengthen and correct that forward head posture. Okay, so we take it up against the wall. Place it against the wall and lean into it. The further you step away from the wall, the more pressure you can give. Bending your knees, moving nice and slow. Taking the ball all the way up, top to bottom. If you're flexible enough, you can get the top of your trapezius by leaning back even further. I want to make sure that you have nice good enough balance and comfort in doing that before you try that out. You can also place it here, get your rotator cuff rocking side to side, moving slowly and putting a good amount of pressure so you can loosen everything up. For the pectoralis muscle, you can lean in with the ball here and press into the wall forward. I'm not going to show you that one because my back will be to you, but you can also use your knuckles, warming up your pectoralis muscle right in here. Okay. Another therapy tool that a lot of therapists use, but we're seeing them more and more commonly in department stores, is a cane. Sometimes they're just shaped like a regular cane. This is a S cane, their cane. You can reach trigger points like so, pushing away from the body and leaning into the muscle. We will go over some specific trigger points in the shoulders and arms in another segment so that you can find out where to use those at using this tool. Now we're going to go over some of the static stretches that you can do. This is post-exercise or without the exercise. So if you're not going to do any exercises, you can do the warm-ups, the trigger points, and then the stretches afterwards. Stretching the front of the chest, clasping the hands behind your back, and lifting as high as you can to stretch this entire area. Now, you may also do this in a doorway by leaning into the doorway with your hands at the side, stretching your chest muscles forward, or simply placing your hand on the wall and tilting outward and away from it. Okay? There are a couple different methods you can use, but basically making sure that you're not really tight in your pectoralis muscles. Then stretching the back, so it's the opposite movement. Palms forward, really pushing and pulling. You can feel everything stretch back here. And then tilt your head down. And hold all the stretches about 20 to 30 seconds to get any maximum results from it. Making sure you're breathing. Then we have something to release your neck. Probably one of my favorite stretches that releases the back portion of your neck the best. And that is to tilt your head up to the ceiling, to the sky, and feel the stretch right here. Push your chin forward. So it's not very attractive, but you're pushing your jaw forward. So you get a stretch in the front of the neck. And release. And you'll feel the stress and pressure release from the back of the neck. Again, holding that at least 30 seconds. The modification for that to stretch the side of the neck muscles is to tilt your head to the side, push your jaw forward, and then you get this side nice and tight that releases everything, allowing your neck to go back to its natural position that it should be in. Coming back to neutral before you do the other side. And release. A really nice way to stretch your trapezius. Sometimes it's so tight here and all you want to do is squeeze it. I like placing your hand behind your back and grabbing it, pulling your elbow out as far as to one side as you can, and then tilt your head toward the pointed elbow. Deep breath in. Don't push it too far. Make sure you're making yourself nice and comfortable. Release. Repeat on the other side. Even if it's one side of your neck that's hurting, make sure you always do both sides. Next exercise is to do a chin tuck, keeping the neck neutral. It's an active pushing, like somebody's taking their hand against your face and pushing everything back. Notice my shoulders automatically come back. I want you to try this against the wall because it will really help you. Lean up flat against the wall, making sure your bottom and your heels and your back are touching, and then push your head back, keeping your neck straight. Now, some might have a tendency to have to tilt back because they still have that stress, but as long as you're keeping your neck as straight as possible, you will get eventually where you can put your head all the way back to the back of the wall. I'm gonna repeat those 5 to 10 times each day, morning and night. That's a maximum effort just to reprogram the muscles to help hold everything back instead of being down here with our text neck. One more stretch is a isometric hold stretch that you can do lying on the ground. I'm going to show you standing up first, but really it's best to do it lying on the floor to eliminate any other muscular involvement. But when I'm laying on the floor, it's going to look like this. I'm going to tilt my head to the side and bring one arm over to the side of the head, and I'm going to hold this position and push my head in this direction against my hand, not letting my head move while preventing any overstrain. So don't pull with the opposite arm, just hold it steady and make sure everything's comfortable and there's no neck pain or spasming while you're doing this. So you come down on the floor. I'm gonna go as far as I can comfortably stretch this ear to this shoulder and hold it. I'm gonna push and I'm gonna hold that. So I'm still actively pushing my head against my hand. I'm gonna take 3 good deep breaths, which is also about 12 seconds. And then release, come back to neutral. Test the range of motion again, and I see I get a little more range of motion in my neck. And push again and hold. 2, 3, 4. You can even feel it kind of relaxing on the other side. And then release. And repeat one more time. So 3 times each side of the neck. And back. So those are some of my most favorite neck stretches that you can do in the comfort of your own home, following along with the video. Now we're going to talk about common trigger points that you find that cause neck pain. And I want to go over a few of these, but first, be sure that you've warmed up and treated your body with enough love before you try to address any trigger points, because your muscles can be so tight surrounding the trigger points that you're going to want to have a tendency to dig too deep and wind up bruising yourself. Again, I recommend you just try maybe one area and then see how you respond with the pressure, because it can be very, very easy to bruise yourself with a hard object like this. It can feel good in the moment, and then the next day you can be even more sore than you were before. So again, try one area out, see how you respond, and then keep that pressure. On a pain scale of 1 to 10, you should never be more than a 7. And I prefer that you use lighter pressure with the trigger point than heavier pressure until you've gotten enough experience in how you can treat it best. So we're going to go over some trigger points in the trapezius first. Now, I'm pretty sure that you can see from there, the X's are the spots where you might have really tender points that make you jump. The blue is where the pain refers to. You can download a lot of trigger point apps that allow you to search and find areas of pain, and it's a really wonderful tool for the at-home user. So I'm here in the general area where the 2 X's for the trapezius might be found. Again, you have the bony top of your scapula and then that really meaty part of the upper trapezius, causing possible pain up and through here, the side of your head and your jaw. So again, putting pressure for about 8 to 10 seconds and then releasing and going to another area. Never overwork the area, spend a little bit of time, move on toward finding another area. So we want to work on levator scapula. It's a little bit higher up, so you almost feel a divot, and some people will feel like a little bump. It's a little roll. It feels like that's a knot, but that's not it. You'll know when you have a little bit of referred pain or it's really, really sore in that area. The rolling bump is just the muscle fibers crossing over one another. So as you get better posture, you won't have that bump and roll, but it's not necessary to just try and work that deeper and deeper. So we're gonna come up a little bit higher. So this is approximately the area that you're gonna work to find pain that refers along the scapula, but also up into the back of the neck and the back of the head for levator. We're also gonna work on splinus cervicius, which is an area right in here. It's not pictured in the photo there, but off to the side, you have your spinous processes right here. Never press there, it's always to the side, about right in the middle. Nice and gentle, just a little pressure. How gentle that is. Last but not least, infraspinatus, which is a rotator cuff muscle. Who would think a trigger point and a rotator cuff muscle could cause neck pain? But it can. So you could see right here, the X's are here. Coming up here, it goes all the way up the shoulder. I cut it off in the photo, but it goes up into the neck. So it's right on your scapula, right in here. Work those areas and find your little trigger point there. Sometimes you'll even feel it shoot up the back of the head when you work those areas. So best of luck. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I will do my best to reach out to you. This segment is designed at giving you the exercises that you need to help strengthen your neck and shoulders and allow you to have that nice posture, preventing neck and shoulder pain. So we're gonna go over the tools that you might need, maybe a resistance band and set of dumbbells, maybe a chair. First, we're gonna do rows. Attach your resistance band to either a secure post at chest level or a little bit higher and pull your band out so that there's resistance on the extended arm. Get in an athletic stance, bending the knees, tucking in your core, keeping your elbows in close to the body and driving them back, pinching the shoulder blades to the spine. Nice and slow release. So that's an example of the row that I like, that helps strengthen your rhomboids, bringing everything back and strengthening the back of the back, because we're so often forward in our posture. The next exercise are back flies, which is also a similar row. You can use a chair to bend over if you're more comfortable. Okay. Leaning forward, spine straight, elbows slightly bent at your sides, looking down with a neutral neck, and lifting. Okay. You're pinching your shoulder blades back. No need to come all the way up. That simple movement is enough to build muscle with the rated resistance. Next, we have Supermans, I's, Y's, and T's. The positions are different. The arms are going to be I, Y, and T. So you come down on your stomach, onto your mat, arms directly above your head. You're going to lift your upper body up off the floor into I, hold for 5 seconds, and lower. You can add the lower body in if you're comfortable and advanced for both. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Alternate to Y. and T. Supermans are a great body weighted exercise, toning everything, working the different muscle fibers to help bring your shoulders back and give you a beautiful posture. Next, we're going to go over shrugs. Holding the weight at your side, not locking your knees. You squeeze. Now, most people can use a little heavier weight on this, but I want you to make sure you slowly lower and squeeze. You can do this with a resistance band as well underneath your feet. And repeat those for a number of sets and repetitions that you've been prescribed. Next, we're going to go over rotator cuff exercises. So allowing your shoulder to get that rotated pull, because often when we have neck issues, our arms and shoulders are rolled forward. So we want to strengthen those muscles and bring them back a little bit. So you're going to grab your resistance band, put your palms facing up, the thumbs are facing outward, have a little bit of slack, and push them out toward the wall, keeping your elbows pinched in at your side. Okay, slowly bringing them back in. Okay, keep your shoulders from coming up to your ears. Set them down. This is a great physical therapy. It's often used in physical therapy. So this is a great exercise, not only to help with the health of your rotator cuff, but it's connected to helping with your neck posture. Next exercise, lat pull downs. Now I know a lot of you at home don't have a bar for the traditional lat pull down. You can use a resistance band up high in the doorway, kneel down to the ground, and just do a wide grip pull down, and that works your lats just as well. I'll show that to you over here. Stepping away to give myself enough resistance. Coming down. Okay, arms extended. Okay. Nice and slow. The whole time, keeping the shoulder in line with the body, not pulling backward like so, but down. I hope you like those exercises. Again, do your stretches after you do your exercises as well, the static stretches that we learned. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'll get back to you soon. Thank you.